and welcome into my YouTube channel. I am really excited to share with you my next design team project for Country Craft Creations. I made a super cute little sandwich board, or bistro sign, if you want to call it that. You can see there's a mini album inside. On one side there's a little handle. The other side has a charm closure, which is kind of hard to see, but I will show you that as we get to it. So my inspiration for this, I will show you, is one of the cut apart cards that excuse me, is in the collection. The collection, as I said, is from Echo Park, and it is called Coffee and Friends. So I started thinking about, what do you typically see at a Starbucks or a Caribou Coffee or something like that. And I started thinking, and as we were driving around, I drove through downtown Pittsburgh, even though it's pretty much a ghost town these days. Some of the restaurants that were open have these little sandwich boards outside that say what the special of the day are. I just don't have a good way to show it to you. But I think you get the idea. So I thought, well, I could make that out of paper, right? And so let me open up. I can't get it. Okay. So the little mini album lives right inside here. Well, actually, let me show you what we did, or what I did. So this is one of the gray part here. This is one of the 4x6 cut aparts. Excuse me, and I backed it with a piece of this peachy pinky kind of color pattern paper. I had some of these I'm talking years. I've had these paper flowers in these colors, and they were just so perfect. And then I have some applique. I think this is wedding dress applique, and I cut it apart. It's actually, you can see it's right here. See this? This is just, isn't that gorgeous? And no, Kim Randalls, you cannot have it. But anyway, yeah, so I used some of that for the leaves, and I have this lace peachy pink butterfly that's just perfect, and I added a little tiny pearls for the little, what is that called? The little swoosh that follows a butterfly or a bee around. And then I just used some, I think they were Echo Park enamel dots that I had left over. So these are kind of a creamy color. It's hard to tell with my light. And then down here, these are like a sage green, which matches the sage green here. So then over here, I just put a piece of cardstock in to act as a blocker to stop the book from falling out. And I added one of the stickers from the collection, and it says, "You're the cream to my coffee." And then up top, I made a little paper handle. You can see here's the one I did for the tutorial, the handle. Super easy to make. And then I just had some of this sage green tulle, and I made some paper flowers out of that same paper that's on the front here. I just used some punches I have, and I made some flowers, put a rhinestone and some pearls in it, and attached it there. And then you can see here, this green is one of the pages that's in the collection. Again, just punched out some flowers and used some more of those leaves. And here, I'll try to show you this as best I can. This is my little charm. So I have sort of like a Starbucks type coffee cup there. Then this one is a little teeny tiny coffee cup. This one is like a little metal charm, a circle charm. Life begins after coffee. Then another one of those little cups with a saucer. This one says, "Coffee is always a good idea." Yes, I agree. And then this one says coffee, but then it says cafe, cream, latte, sugar, espresso, or espresso, sorry, mocha, caffeine, cappuccino, mug, milk, shot, and froth. And I just attached it to this little attachment here. And let me show you that. Those are these, I used to use these a lot on my mini albums. These are from Dritz, is the brand, and 3 extra large hooks and eyes. And then you just take, oh no, it's all stuck together. This is what you hook. This is part number 1, this is part number 2. And you could just put some chain or ribbon. I've used lace, attach it under there, and it hooks in like this. So I just glued the hook down, just to cover it up, I put a pretty little epoxy flower that I had. And then on the back, I just did 3/16 of a punch 3/16 inch hole with my crocodile and just fed the chain through there. And then this little cup had a lobster claw on it. So then I just hooked that onto there. And it just kind of dangles. So yeah, so that's super fun, and it looks so pretty. It's so hard to show you, and I'm sorry, my camera only goes up so high, and it's so hard to show you exactly like what it looks like from all sides. But I do have some photos coming that I will put up on the Scrapbookers page on Facebook. So yeah, so that's that. And the mini album, it is a super simple, very, very basic, but it's a big impact. Very basic mini album. Excuse me. This says coffee. This is one of the 4x4 cut aparts. Coffee and good friends make for a perfect day. So that's almost right. Coffee and good friends crafting together make for a perfect day. So this made me think of everybody that's at all the retreats, all of Tammy's retreats, and, the Zoom stuff that we do, and all of our crafty friends. So, yeah. So anyway, I kept it very basic. I love this paper. This is like a shiplap piece of paper. And I actually did a walkthrough over, darn it, I didn't put it on Facebook or YouTube, but it is on Facebook in the Scrapbookers page. I did a walkthrough of my design team package. Excuse me, and I showed you all the different pages that are included. This is one of the banners and one of the stickers, or the ephemera pieces. And then there's another one of the flowers I made, and 2 more of those peachy. You can see they're peachy. I don't know if you could tell, or you could tell on the green flower that I used my Wink of Stella on that. And then just added, again, some more of that pearl. Kept it really simple, and that's the side. You Perk Me Up is one of the stickers from the sticker sheet. And then that's the back. Oh no! Oh no! Oh crap, I set it on my wet. Dang it. Hopefully that dries. Ugh. That's why I never have wet baby wipes on my desk. Ugh, I can't believe I did that. Anyway. Okay, so on the inside, or just to show you, this has 4 pages. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I just added an extra tag and an extra little pocket on the back. But you don't have to do that part if you don't want to. So starting here in the inside cover, I just made a simple basic pocket. Just how pretty is that? There is a little, oh, there's one right there. There's one of those little sandwich board type things. Somebody tell me what that's called. A bistro sign, maybe? I don't know. But that's why out front of a coffee shop. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I didn't even notice that. So that was one of the cut aparts. I just put on some basic cardstock. And then this is one of the cut aparts. Look at that little van. Is that cute? Coffee and Friends. And then this one, it says, do more of what makes you happy. Drink coffee. I thought that was cute. And those just tuck back. And then I didn't realize that the patterns matched. So I might move it around. But love it. So this is page number 1. Okay. Coffee is a hug. I just love that. That's a sticker. I just removed the sticky stuff on the back and put a magnet in there for a closure. And then this is just a flap. And this here has, oh, I didn't even realize. piece of cardstock. I didn't realize I didn't put anything back here. This was a sticker and I just removed the stick. I'm going to have to go back in and put a couple things on that side. And then this was the inspiration. So when I saw that, I know I can make that. So there is a tutorial that I did do a tutorial for. This is kind of a 3-part deal. Part number 1 was constructing this. I didn't put the pattern paper on because you can do whatever pattern paper you want. I just walk you through the construction of it. Part number 2 was the construction of the album cover and spine. And then this is part number 3, kind of the walkthrough and the page construction. So anyway, so I just took, again, from the tags and ephemera, tags and titles package, I think it was called. I just thought these cups were super, super cute. And I just glued it at the bottom and made it into a stopper. So here's the coffee is a hug. It's a tiny little tag that was in there. So here's another one. And just kind of added that there. And then this is a 5 7/8, I believe, by 5 7/8 tag. It says perk me up. And that just slides right back inside there. And then this page, again, super simple. Just did a little belly band. I love me some buffalo check. Black and white is my favorite buffalo check, but pink is just super, super close. And then this is another one of those little tags and titles or whatever. Life happens, coffee helps. And I just turned it into a stopper. So here we have just super pretty. I think you could tell that's green, right? For a minute it looked black. But it says, coffee time is the best time. I just did a little tag. Then, hello, yes. I'm not sure what. Okay, and then this one says, all things are possible with a little coffee, especially on a Monday morning. Oh, today's Sunday. Monday's tomorrow. Ugh, I hate Monday. All right, so that's page 1 and 2. And then page 3, home is where the good coffee is. And then you're the cream to my coffee. I just made this into a little booklet, little 2-page booklet. And there's still plenty of room here to add more tags if you want. And this says, may the coffee be with you. And then there's the back of that cardstock. This is the cardstock that comes, or it's coordinating cardstock that goes with the paper collection. I think my design team package has like 3 or 4 pages. Then this one, I really like this page. I really like it. It's really simple. This looks blue on my screen, but it is definitely a gray. Again, I just said that you're the cream to my coffee. This is, you can't tell here, but this is a frame. And this is just like the cutout, the punch out that's in the middle of the frame, but I just backed it with a piece of paper to hold it all together. Put a, oh, you can see I did that. Oops, should have covered that up. Put a magnet there, put a magnet there. And there's one of the stickers, it says coffee. I assume that's what a coffee plant looks like. I don't know. But, so then I thought it would be really cute. You could put some photos, or a couple small little photos here, or you can put a photo and do some journaling here and journaling up here. Super cute. This page has a tie closure. It's kind of a gatefold. So I put a piece of the, look how pretty that grayish blue seam binding is. Oops, come on over there. Then I just made these 2 little tabby-doo things to kind of hold it together. You don't have to do that. You can glue the seam binding underneath, or your ribbon, or whatever you want to use. So I love these cups. I wish I had one of each of these. And then you open it to the inside. This says coffee and then the world. So I just used that, turned that into just a little belly band of sorts, a diagonal belly band. And then this is one of the banners from the sticker collection that it's open underneath, if you wanted to slide something under there. But look at that. I assume that's coffee before the beans. And it says Brewmasters on it, and that just slides in there. Then this one says, on a bad day, there's always coffee. And then over here, coffee and sunshine. And then that just folds back together. Closes again, super, super basic. And then you could tie it together, which I have to remember to tell you how to make those little closures because I forgot. And then this one says, good ideas start with coffee, and it's open. You could slide photos underneath. And on the back is a sticker that says mocha. And that lives right inside here. Each one of these 4 pages is a sleeve that attaches onto your, you can use the hinge binding method. Again, everybody has their favorite one, so you can just attach each page to whatever type of hinge you like to use. So this page just has this tiny little pocket, and I really loved this. This was so pretty. Like, it's really hard to see. Let's see if I bring it up closer. Oh yeah, you can see it. Right here, there's these little, like, almost khaki colored dots. There you go. They kind of go khaki, then a light bluish gray, and then khaki, then white, and then green. I just really like that pattern. So I just made this tiny little pocket. Plenty of room to put a photo here or do some journaling over here. This says, I'm not addicted to coffee, we're just in a committed relationship. Oh, I love that. And then this one says, I like big cups and I cannot lie. I really do. I like a big cup of coffee. And it says, I will drink coffee here or there. I will drink coffee anywhere. And then I just added again some of the pretty seam binding. Put that just lives right there. And over here I just did one of these. It started off as an L-shaped pocket and then it turned diagonal. So, and I love this. This is like subway tile, I guess. You can see I dropped my, yeah, you can see it. I dropped my, this thing. Ink thingamajig. The word is like completely escaping my mind. Dropped it right there and it happens. So this one, I love these 2 colors together with this dark brown and this peach color. It says, life happens, coffee helps. And then this is like walking into a coffee shop where you see everything that they offer is up on the chalkboard. And this is the counter. Just love it. So that's a cute tag. Lives right there. Inside here is that cute little delivery van. And then this one says coffee first. Then the back over here, I just have a paper clip holding that on. It says dream big and get the large cup. That's funny. And then this just has a flap and it says everything gets better with coffee, one of the stickers. And then I just made a little pocket on the inside of the flap. And these are a couple of the tags that were in the packet. And then this says rise and grind. Oh, I forgot to put some seam binding on that one. I'm going to have to grab some. And then I love this. So this is kind of like all the little sayings. Coffee bar, love is brewing. All things are possible with a little coffee. The good old days are still to come, especially after a great cup of coffee. Life happens, coffee helps. So just super adorable. And then I just use a paper clip to hold that on. As the paper clip shoots across my desk. All right, let's try that again. There we go. Sorry about that. That's better. And then I have these 2 flaps here. Now you don't have to add these, and my tutorial does not include these 2. But if you want, just message me and I'll let you know the sizes and everything. So this just has a tag in it. It says coffee is my best friend. And on the back it says coffee. And this is just a little pocket, a little flat pocket. And this is the reverse, or this is on the back side. How pretty is that? And then this little tag, basically I just cut this out. This is 2.5 by 6. I scored it a 1/2 inch here and just attached it in, and I added some black artisan cardstock, and then this pretty flower from the sticker sheet. Look how pretty that is, and just a little bit, just very simple but elegant. In the back I left naked and used the little coffee cup, and it says thanks a latte. And on the back over here is just a different color coffee cup, and this, it's hard to see it on the screen, but it says a cup of comfort. And then over here we have this inside back cover that is a 2-pocket page, and these are actually bigger than 4 by 6, weren't they? Or did I cut them down? No, it's 4 by 6. So I just thought that was pretty, and left the back blank for a photo and some journaling. And then here is that that I see, like somebody might have like a coffee bar in their home. I just thought that was really neat. To be honest, when I first got this collection, I was going to make this. And I might still, because I have some paper left. I might still, but I don't know. We'll see. And then I started thinking about the Bistro Sign. So anyway, this is a nice long pocket in the back. And then this is probably my favorite saying of all of them. A coffee a day keeps the grumpy away. And then this is probably my second favorite. Namaste here and drink my coffee. I just think it's just super cute, and I can't believe I did that. So I hope it doesn't ruin it. I'm hoping it dries. So anyway, so that is the project. So again, there is a tutorial to make the Bistro Sign. There's a tutorial to make the cover, which is just very, 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 very basic. And now we're going to go ahead and jump in and make... Oh, wait, where are they? Sorry. Sorry about that. I forgot to put them across the room on the floor. All right. Oh, one of my banners came out. It says, "Love yourself as much as you love coffee." That's one of my favorites. Okay, so I mentioned there are 4 pages in this book, and they are, I made 3 ahead of time, 4 base pages, I should say. I made 3 ahead of time. You can see they are a basic sleeve construction, okay? So my book is 6.5 by 6.5, but the actual pages are 6 by 6. I will show you that. 6 inches by 6 inches. Okay, I'm going to grab my scoreboard to make it easier. This makes me nuts because you can see I have a light right here. The reflection. This is the Tonic Studios Tim Holtz glass mat, and it's fantastic, except for when you want to do a video. So I'm going to bring in my crusty and trusty old Scor pal. This thing has been with me for a while, and it's gone cross country a few times. Yeah, and it's holding up pretty well. It's a little dirty, but you know, it's a workhorse. So it is 6. Each page base is 6 inches by 6 inches. All right, so to get started, you're going to need 4, or again, if you choose to do 5, base pages that are 7 inches by 6 inches. And then what we're going to do is take that on with the 7-inch side in your scoreboard. We're going to score it at a 1/2 inch on one side and turn it around and score a 1/2 inch on the other side. And the reason I say to turn it around is because believe it or not, some scoreboards are different. Like where you think this is a 1/2 inch, but it's actually just a little bit between 3/8 and a 1/2 of an inch. It's just weird how it's done. So you could put it in, scored at a 1/2 inch here, and then 6.5 over here. But I'm not convinced that always ends up being 6 by 6. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but you know, whatever. So you're going to want to do that 4 times. And then you're also going to want to cut 4 pieces of your base color cardstock. If you want to make every page a different color, have at it. But you're going to want that to be 6 inches by 6 inches. Okay? And then we already scored it a 1/2 inch on 2 sides. You can go ahead, what we should do, just to eliminate, it's not necessarily bulk in this case, but it's if you miter your edges here or tab your corners, however you want to refer to it, just slightly. Since we are going to have tags slide in and out of this sleeve, I think it's best to, or I have kept them square. When the tag is sliding in and out, sometimes it gets stuck. So I find it best to miter or slant the corners. So then you're going to want to just go ahead and fold and burnish on your score lines. Okay, so then your 7 by 6 has now become a 6 by 6 inch page. Okay, see that? Now again, you can use score tape or you can use wet adhesive. If I were making this off camera, I would use art glitter glue, but just to speed up the process, I'm using score tape. So then what I like to do is, I hope you can see that, I like to take the corner, line up the corners, and then just follow with my finger to get that as straight as I can. And of course I am a little bit crooked, but that's okay. Right, then we're going to do the same over here. Even though I got that first one a little bit crooked, I can redeem it or remedy it. Nope, that was crooked too, but that's okay. And just make sure, score this. Of course it doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. So there is your sleeve. And it is off a little bit, but no worries. There we go. All right, so now you have 4 of your base sleeves open on both sides. So what would happen if you use the hinge method binding, your one side of your sleeve, the left side, would slide on over here and you would stick that down, and then this side becomes your pocket page. It turns it into a pocket page and your tag goes in this way. Okay? All right, so for page number 1, actually let's do the front inside cover. So this is the book that I made, or the shell of the book that I made in the prior video, and again, it's just very, very basic. You can wrap it whatever way you want to, whatever works best for you. You can go ahead and watch that video if you'd like. So basically the inside front cover is just a pocket, and we cut that down to, we cut a piece of the base color cardstock 3.5 by 7.5. You can see I put inside front cover. You're going to put it in your scoreboard and score at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. All right. So then what you're left with is this little square where they intersect. So I'm just going to go in and get rid of that square, and then miter that corner. Okay. Do the same on this side. Just give it an angle on each side. Oops. I shot across the room. Alright, so then you're going to fold on that score line. Okay. Let's get out our trusty art glitter glue. I like to just put a dot there for a minute, give that a second to catch. So that makes it easier for me to just go ahead and put some glue on my tab. Do it all at once. Sorry if you can hear a dog barking in the background. I've said this before. We have a neighbor that has their dogs live outside and they bark like crazy and they just ignored them. So anyway, so what we're going to do is line up your pocket with the bottom corner and then just adhere that down. Oopsie. And get your bone folder and give it a good burnish. It'll help it stick. And, oh, that's chipboard. I thought that was cardstock. There's your first pocket. Actually, let's do this because that was a piece of thick cardstock and it didn't go all the way across. So you see it fits down there perfectly. So that's your first step. And then, so we're going to move on to page 1. Page 1, make sure I can see my notes. So we're going to have a flap with a closure. So you want to make sure that you have your openings on the left and the right. Okay. And then page 1, you'll need 2 pieces of cardstock. The first is 4.5 by 5.5. So that is slightly smaller because it's a 1/2 inch smaller than your base page. Let me bring this in a little closer. Sorry if this makes you any, hope this doesn't make you nauseous. Okay, so, sorry it's upside down here, but 4.5 by 5.5. And then on the short side, which is the 4.5 inch side, you're going to score it at a 1/2 inch down one side. Okay, so we're just turning that into a flap. All right, so since it's not going to be a pocket, you don't necessarily have to miter the edges. You can if you want, but you don't have to. And you can use Scor tape or you can use not hot glue, your wet adhesive. That's probably way too much. It's going to ooze everywhere. So then you can just come along, and I have it adhered from the right side. You can put it on the left side if you want. That's just the way I did it. Okay, I am losing my brains. I have to turn it upside down so that I can line it up because I'm just backwards. Okay, and then stick it down, give it a good burnish. Okay, there you go. So again, your opening is over here, your spine is over here, your pocket opening is over here on the right, and so this opens to the right. So then you have a little closure. I did a magnet closure. I measured, or it measures 1 3/8 by 3.5. Then I put it in my scoreboard and scored it at a 1/2 inch on the long side. Good gravy. It's a 1/2 inch on the long side. Whoops. So if you want to do a magnet closure, now is the time to attach your magnet. It's so much easier. So you take 1 plus and 1 minus. Oh, there's that little thing I was looking for last night. Okay. So you have 1 plus and 1 minus. Okay. So what we're going to do, you can decide if you want to put the closure up here. Do you want the closure down the bottom, which is kind of odd. But I put mine in the middle. So I am going to add some glue to the tab. And this is 6 inches, so I'm just going to eyeball it. I don't get all fancy, and it doesn't matter to me if one side is 2 inches and the other side is 4. I don't get crazy like that. Sometimes I do, but okay. So then we're going to take our magnets and take the backer off of one side. And make sure that you you give yourself enough room right here so that if you don't have to, but I always mat this with a piece of pattern paper or sometimes just solid cardstock just to pretty it up a little bit. I don't necessarily care to see the magnet. Sometimes I leave it, just depends on my mood. So then you want to make sure that your flap is closed, everything's nice and straight and nice and flat, and then just let that naturally fall where it's going to fall. Okay, give it a little pressure there. Then when you pick it up, careful when you pick it up, it's going to leave the magnets because they have adhesive on both sides. It's going to leave the magnets there. But I have learned, oh man, that's too close. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Dadgummit. Emergency, emergency. See if we can't get this off. This Cricut tool comes really handy when you do something dumb like this. But I'm not going to edit that out because it happens. And plus I'm not very good at editing my videos, so. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Okay. Let's try this again. I guess I'm going to have to move it a little closer. All right. Okay. I'm just replacing that adhesive with glue. Okay, that's better. See, the problem was I would never be able to cover up the magnet with the pattern paper. Now it's going to be close, but it'll still work. I'll make it work. So I was saying, before the big screw up, that eventually, you know, I've been making mini albums for quite a while now. Eventually the adhesive on the magnet lets loose. And, you know, there's also the issue with if you're in a humid climate, blah, 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 it could let loose. But I find that little bit of Scor tape there really helps keep it in place. So there you go. So that's page number 1. It's super cute, you know, really easy. You could put, you know, a photo here and journal in here, or you know, because it's magnet closure, you could put a tag that has a magnet on it and it would hold it. These are strong enough to go through a couple layers of paper. So that's page 1. Super easy. Page 2. Let's see. Page 2. Oh, just very simple. Excuse me. Why did I score in my belly band? That was dumb. Page 2 is just a belly band. Okay, we put it in our scoreboard, not just a belly band. Page 2 is a belly band. So you want a piece of paper that's 2 inches by 7 inches. Okay, and that is not my sewing tool. You're going to score a 1/2 inch on both sides. On the long side, you're going to put it in 7 inches on the top right. I'm sorry, I am having a really hard time speaking today. And I think you can see right here, I must have been thinking this was a pocket because I scored it on the long side. Or, sorry, I put it in on the short side and scored it also. But don't do that. So, it's not going to be seen. It's going to be covered up with pattern paper, so I'm not too worried about it. So what you just want to do is fold and burnish on your score lines. And then I put mine about at 1 inch from the bottom. So if it's 6 inches, I adhered mine at the 5-inch mark. So I'm just going to add some glue. Again, I'm not worried that I have writing on there because, again, it's tucked under and nobody's ever going to see it. All right, so let's go 1 inch from the bottom. Try to keep that as straight as possible. I can't tell if it's straight. I think it's straight. Okay, let's get your bone folder in there. Give it a good burnish. And I just like to take a piece of cardstock, make sure that nothing got glued down inadvertently. Okay, page 1 and 2, done. Ta-da! Okay, let me put that down there. All right, so page, again, there is a cutting guide, will be in the description of this video. So you don't need to write anything down at this point. So page number 3, let's grab us a new page. Page number 3. How cute is that little paper clip? It's a little bunny. I don't know where I got that. Somebody gave that to me. I don't know. Page number 3 is a side pocket. So what you need is a piece of your base color cardstock, 3 inches by 7 inches. Okay, we're going to put it on our scoreboard. We're going to score a 1/2 inch on 3 of the 4 sides, right? So this is just a classic pocket. So 3 of the 4 sides. You can see there's that little square again. So we're just going to cut that out. Angle it. Miter the edge. I'm going to do this backwards this time. I like to cut that on an angle, and then I just kind of pivot my scissor and angle it that way. So then it ends up looking like that. Get that out of there. So you can see that's how what it ends up looking like. So then we're going to fold on those score marks. Right. Let's see, how does that look? Okay. Then what I want to do is, how do I do it? No, I do it this way. Put that little piece, that little corner, glue down that little corner first. Give that a minute to adhere. And then that way, when you pick it up to put glue on it, the flaps aren't flapping all over the place. I don't know, that's just a little annoying to me. Okay. All right, so then page number 3 is a side pocket. We're going to attach it to the left side, so this will be my left side, or the side that the spine is on. Go ahead and just like we did that other pocket earlier, we're just going to lay it down, adhere it. Okay, and just make sure, clean up any glue that might have oozed. And then there's your pocket. Oops. Slide that across, make sure everything's good. That corner's lifting up a little. There you go. There's your side pocket. Again, that's your opening for your tag. And that your spine will be here. So that's page 3. Oh, my cattywampus here. Okay, so turn that over, and that becomes page 4, which is there is a top flap with a closure. So the top flap measures 5 7/8 by 3 1/2. And then you're going to put this in your scoreboard with the, oh, for heaven's sake, on the 3 1/2 inch side or the short side, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch. So you come down here, score 1/2 inch. And then we're going to fold that on the score line and burnish. Then we're going to go ahead, apply some glue. All right, so make sure it's in the right orientation. Both of your openings of your sleeve are on the right and the left. I'm going to turn mine upside down so that I can apply my flap. Line up the flap with the corners. Let me stick it down. Come in here. Mine's a tad bit short, but I don't mind that too much. Give that a good burnish. Alright, so it's flapping all over the place. So this is where I use another magnet closure, or you can use ribbon closure, whatever you'd like to do. You could put the magnet on here, you know, on the inside of this, and put it down here, and that will automatically hold it shut. But I'm just really into these magnet closures. I just love them. So, and we're going to do it right this time. Right? Yes, right. We're going to do it right. Let me scooch this back a little. Okay, sorry about that. I had to lift that up so high so that you could see the project because it's so tall. All right, so let's grab us another magnet. All right, not a right, a minus and a plus. And just let them do their thing, let them connect together. So then for the magnet closure, I cut a piece that's 1 1/2 by 4 3/4. And I scored it on the long side at 1/2 inch. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue or score tape, whatever you want at this point. And oh, make sure you fold and burnish. And then again, put this as close to center as you can. Oopsie. Oh, I thought I did it upside down. Whew. Okay. Give that a good, crisp burnish. All right, so let's do this the right way this time. All right. Side number 1. That's gotta be right. Perfect. All right, so adhere that down. Remove the backer for the plus side. Okay. And just let that fall. Oop. Excuse my phone. And then, ta-da! Plenty of room for the paper to hide the magnet. Okay, so, Lord, I have a mess here on my desk. Okay, let's add some score tape. Again, the pattern paper will cover that. Nobody will ever see it. That is page 4 finished. So page 3, I did do it wrong. No. Whew. Ooh. Just make sure your orientation is correct. So page 3 has a left facing pocket. Page 4 has a top flap with a magnet closure. All right. We are just cooking with gas. Page 5, we're going to need another base page. And then page 5 is, what is page 5? Oh, this is a fun one. Page 5 has the gatefold closures. Okay, so you're going to need 2 pieces of your base color cardstock that are cut at 3.5 by 6. So we have 2 of those. Put them in your scoreboard and with the 3.5 inch side on the top right, and score at 1/2 inch. Do the same on this one. Okay, so we can go ahead and fold and burnish on your score line. Fold and burnish on your score line. Do the same on both sides. Okay, now you have a couple choices here. You can either add your adhesive to your flap and then just put it on each side, or you can add adhesive on the inside of the flap and you could slide this into, I have to miter it, or you can slide it into the pocket, so essentially it will come across like that. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, well, I'm going to actually do 2 things. Well, I'm just going to add my glue. And then, actually, I'm turning this around because you know I do everything backwards. Just make sure it lines up on the left side or the edge and top and bottom. Okay. Then let's do that to the other side. Just line it up. You don't want anything hanging over on the top or the bottom. Give it a good burnish. And you'll see they just meet right in the middle. Okay? So you can do a few different things. You could actually edge punch these if you have some of those Martha Stewart edge punches. That would be cute. You could punch 2 holes here and use some seam binding or ribbon to tie it. You can do one of those magnet closures we just did. But what I ended up doing was, and I did not cut it for this, but let me close up my glue before I make a mess. Okay, what I ended up doing is took a piece of cardstock that is this a 1/2 inch? This is a 1/2 inch wide. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to, I think it was 2 inches. I'm just doing this from memory because I didn't write it down. Okay, so you have 2 pieces that are 2 inches. Then what we're going to do is back in our scoreboard, we're going to score. This is a little hard to do because it's small. We're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5. Okay? Do it again. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5. All right, and then if you have a hole punch, you might want to grab it. I have my crocodile here. So then just take your little piece of paper and fold it in half on the score line. Then fold the other one up and the other one up, and essentially you're just making a little T. So see how it looks like a T? Oop, sorry. See how it looks like a little T? Now it looks like a V. But you want to use that shape and then poke a hole, or not poke a hole. You could use a paper piercer if you have it. I want to use the bigger, the 3/16 inch hole. And you can actually, let's do that so I don't screw it up. You can actually find the center. Just mark, eyeball it, mark the center. Then we're going to just fold it again. Mark the center. And then just go ahead and this thing makes me crazy. This is a fantastic tool if it would just empty after you punched it. Okay, let's just go ahead and do the same thing. Line it up, give it a good punch. Okay, and you can see what we have here. Oh, so see? Not quite the center. Holy moly, what a day. Anyway, we're just going to go with it. Just apply a little bit of glue. I'm going to stick that down. Apply a little bit of glue. This one's perfect. And then what you would do after you put your pattern paper on, make sure you put your pattern paper down first, because otherwise it's going to be very painful. You would just find the center, and as I've just proved, I can't find the center of anything. You can put these as far apart as you want, you can put them together, put them as close together as you want, and then you just feed a piece of ribbon or seam binding or, what is this, baker's twine, yarn, embroidery thread, whatever you want to use to hold your page closed. And then you'll tie that together and it'll hold your page closed. It'll be gorgeous. So that's page 5. Moving on to page 6. Page 6 is very simple. It is, all these pages in my opinion are very simple, very basic, great for beginners. Those of you who are seasoned crafters or seasoned scrapbookers, and there are so many of you out there in the group, it's just awesome to see. It's awesome to see the work that you guys do. We're just going to do a little pocket. So you're going to want a piece of your base color cardstock, cut it down to 3x4, put it in your scoreboard, and we're going to cut, no, we're not going to cut, we're going to score on 3 sides. So a 1/2 inch, a 1/2 inch, and a 1/2 inch. But you want to start on your 4-inch side, okay? You can see I made a little oopsie and I scored on the wrong side, so I had a tall pocket instead of a wider pocket. You'll see what I mean in a second. So we're going to go ahead and fold on those score lines. Fold and burnish. And get a nice crisp edge. So we're going to do what we've done with all the pockets today. We're going to just trim out the corners, the little squares, and miter the corner, or miter the tab. Same here. Look familiar? So then we're going to go ahead and form the pocket. Oops. Okay, so I'm not going to adhere this one just yet because you're going to want to put down your pattern paper. And then you can put this anywhere on the page you want. You can put it smack dab in the middle, down here, over here. You can make it a side pocket. You can make it go this way. In my book, I have it down here in the bottom left. So once you put your pattern paper on, then you go ahead and apply your adhesive to the tabs and then just put your pocket down. Okay, so I am just going to use my little paper clip and attach it right there. So after I put the pattern paper on, I know, actually, and then I'm going to put these little hickamajiggers we just made. I'm going to put these in, well, let's do it this way. I'm going to attach those onto the paper clip so that I know to put them on this side. Okay? So that's page 5 and 6 done. And then page 7 and 8 is our last base page. Page 7 is that L-shaped pocket, diagonal pocket. Come on now, come on. All right, so you're going to want a piece of your cardstocks 5.5 by 6. Okay, and then what you want to do on the with the 5.5 inch side in your scoreboard, we're only going to score two sides. We're going to do 1/2 inch on one side, then you're going to rotate it to the right. So one short side, which is the 5.5 inch side, and one long side, which is the 6 inches, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay, so that what you end up with is like this L shape. Again, now if you wanted to go the other direction, you know, you would score it this side and this side, or just turn it over and use this side. Excuse me, but because my pocket is a left-facing pocket, meaning the tags are loaded in from the left, I scored along this side. So then all you need, oh wait, before we do that, okay, so then what you want to do, I don't know if you can see that tiny little mark right there? Look at the dry glue on my hand. That tiny little mark. So I measured in, I put this in my scoreboard, and I measured over 1 inch and put a pencil mark. Then you can see my scoreboard also has the 1 inch and the 1/2 inch markings that go vertically as opposed to horizontally. So then I came up from the bottom from 6 inches, because my paper is 6 inches. I came up to 5 inches and made a mark right there. But I just realized that that's wrong because it's a pocket. So you want to actually, I'm glad I caught that. Just forget we said that. Okay, so now you want to, but still you want this at 6 inches, you want to come up to 5.5. You want to come up 1 inch from that score line. So that's going to put you at 4.5 inches. No, what is wrong here? What did I do? Okay, forget this one. This is wrong too. So it should be actually 1 inch. See, I prove it to you. There's my notes. So I should have gone 1 inch from the score mark on the right hand side and 1 inch up from the bottom. Anyway, let's do that again. So our score line is on the 5 inch side over here. We want to score at 4 inches, or just not score, but just put a little mark at 4 inches. Okay, and then come down here, and then there's also a mark at 4.5. Okay, so essentially you're measuring up 1.5 inches from the edge of the page, and you're measuring in 1.5 inches from the edge of the page. Good Lord, that was tough. Shouldn't have been that difficult. Is it Monday and nobody told me? Okay, so this is what I do. So you can use a ruler and take a pencil and connect those two dots together, but I'm just going to put them in my paper cutter. So you see this line right here? This is, there's adhesive on this. This is the cutting line. So I'm just going to line that up there, and that bottom dot, I'm going to line it up on the bottom, and then hope for the best. So now you should have that. Okay? Should look like that. So you can do away with that. And then we're also going to come down here because, again, we're turning this into a pocket, and we have that little square there that we don't need. We're just going to get rid of that. Angle there. Oops. Angle there. And angle there. So you can go ahead and put a dot of glue right there. Okay, let's bring your base page back. Then go ahead and apply your glue or your score tape, whatever. Shoot. Okay, and then I suppose you could do it that way if you wanted, but this is going to be an L pocket, so I'm going to adhere the pocket to the right hand side of my page. Again, I just turned everything upside down. Okay. Make sure there's no glue oozing and that the corners got a good stick. So there you go. So the pocket opens from the bottom here. That's a good shot. A little dark in there, but and everything slides in, no issues. Okay, but what I do want to do is erase those. Okay, so there's page 7. All right, now page 8. I think that was it. Page 8. Oh, right. It's a flap. Sorry, I lost my brain for a second. So you need a piece of your cardstock that's 4 inches by 6 inches. We're going to put it in the scoreboard with the 4-inch side on the top right, or the short side, and we're going to score it at 1/2 inch, and we're just creating that flap. We're going to fold and burnish on that flap. And then take your adhesive . Okay, it's going to be on backwards, so make sure it's on correct, and it goes from the right, I believe. Yes. Well, it does now. If it was supposed to be on the left, that's too bad. So on the right, actually I did put it on the wrong side, but I actually believe this is supposed to be on, oh dang it, I just put it on backwards. So you actually want to adhere your flap on the left hand side. No worries. All right, and then we're going to actually put a little pocket on the inside of the flap. So now that we're pocket experts, we're going to cut it to 2.5 by 4 inches, and then we're going to score it 1/2 inch on 3 sides. And then you guessed it, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of those pieces that we don't need to get rid of the bulk. And then score, or fold and burnish. I think I need to go to remedial school for mini albums because I can't get it right today. Then form your little pocket. Just let that adhere for a second. You may not have to do this. I just find it easier to do this. Okay. So here's your flap. If you want, you could put the pocket on the front of your flap. It's entirely up to you. I am going to go ahead and, so you see here's the score line. and we just glued this little flap down. It's hard to see with this paper, but you want to make sure that you put this right next to that score line, but try not to go over the score line because it'll interfere with it closing. So see, you want to make sure that your flap can still close. Good burnish. Make sure there's no glue that oozed out that stops anything from going in the pocket. I feel like that needs a closure though. I just don't think it's going to. Let me see the book. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Now I remember how I keep it closed, but it's not going to work this time. Well, yeah, it will. Right, so there's your little pocket. Some of the 3x4s, I don't have any on my desk here. The 3x4 tags fit in there nicely. Or you can do like these little tags. You can put a tag with a photo on it, some journaling spots. And then I'm going to grab a piece of paper and I will show you. Oh, ow. Okay, since most paper collections have a variety of journaling cards that are 3x4, some are 4x4, some are 4x6. I'm going to go ahead and let me make sure that that's 3 inches. Should be. Okay. So I'm going to cut a piece that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay. So this, and since I, throughout my book, whoops, that's not it. Since I punched the corners with my corner round puncher, I used the deco. The deco and the stub, it's this green one. My understanding is now these are all different color. This one's pretty old. But I'm going to go ahead and use the deco on this, just because that's the style I use throughout the entire book. And then when I go through the paper collection and I find the journaling card I want to use, I will adhere it to this tag and then place it here. You could go this way, however you want to do it. And then I just used a paper clip to put the bunny back in because he's super cute. Here's the bunny, the little bunny. So that's page 8. All right, that's page 7, page 8. So we're almost done. And then what's left is the back cover, the pockets on the back cover. So these are really easy, again, because as I mentioned, we are pocket pros. So this is inside back cover, that's the bottom. So there's a bottom pocket and a top pocket. I'm going to start at the bottom. So we need a piece that is 3 inches by 7.5 inches. So if you want a taller pocket, by all means, all you have to do is adjust the 3-inch side. So the 3 inches is the height. Let me just make sure. Yep, 3 inches is the height. So maybe you want a 5-inch pocket. You know, that's up to you. You can do a really tall pocket. But I just decided I wanted 2 pockets. So we put this in your scoreboard. Score a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Okay. And then let's do what we do and get rid of those pieces that we don't need. Miter the edges or angle the tabs. Using all this crap I have over here in front of my scoreboard. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and create a pocket. Another pocket. Did we burn burnish? Did we fold and burnish on this one? I think we did. And just go ahead and add your adhesive. Then we have the inside of our book, the inside back cover. Then we're just going to go ahead and line up. I prefer to line up on the cover, the covers, the outside edge first, just so nothing hangs over. And give that a good burnish along the bottom. Get a nice crisp cover. A nice crisp edge. All right, then we're going to take the second one. So this is a smaller pocket, but you'll see why in a second. So this, we need 2 inches by 7.5 inches. Put it in your scoreboard, and we're only going to score on two sides on the long side. So we're going to do a 1/2 inch. We're going to turn it around and score it another 1/2 inch. Okay, so we want 2 tabs on the side. And the reason I do that is I want to put this pocket right up against the prior one, or the bottom one. And the reason I do that is, and the reason we only have 2 edges here, it in effect becomes a belly band. So you have tags that only certain size, right, that fit in this pocket, but the tags in this pocket go all the way to the bottom of the page, so there's nothing stopping it. I hope that makes sense. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to miter the edges on these, just so nothing gets stuck. Does that really work? I don't know, but it makes me feel better. So go ahead and put your adhesive on this tab. And put your adhesive on this tab. And then I try to kind of hold it together like that. And then just line that right up. Or you can leave a little space. And I put mine on upside down, as you can see. Told you I do everything upside down. And then give it a good burnish so that it sticks to the paper below. And then there's your pocket. Oops, that's not ready quite yet. So yeah, so there's your book. Let me grab the pages. I have page 1 and page 2, page 3 and page 4, page 5 and page 6, and then page 7 and page 8. And then you have your pockets on both inside and the outside cover. So then you would take this, so after you decorate your book, this is the, let me put the camera back up again. Ooh. This is the, what do you call it? The Bistro Sign. So, and then your mini album, I'm going to turn it on its side, is just going to, you have to put the spine of your mini album on into the sign, and it lives right inside there. So that is your project, and that ends up looking like this after you decorate it. So that is my project. I hope you liked it. Sorry the tutorial was in 3 pieces, but it kind of is what it is. Or otherwise, sorry, it would be 4 hours long, and nobody wants that. So thank you so much for stopping by, and if you do make my project, please tag me on social media so that I can see on specifically Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations, so that I could see that. I would love it. I love to see when people make, all of us on the design team love to see when people make our projects. So, and we love that they're free so that everybody can make them. So I hope I showed you today that you don't have to have a lot of fancy tools, and you don't have to have, you don't have to make it really complicated to make a beautiful project, because really this Bistro Sign was just super simple to make. It's just a few pieces of chipboard and some glue, and a little bit of cardstock, which is exactly what these books are. They're super easy to make. So hope you liked it. Again, tag me if you get a second, and take care. I will see you next month with my next project. Thank you. Bye.